two super modes to compare. Armada versus Cybertron. No Energon.
Yeah, pretty much this is going to be trying to figure out who is the Primer Prime. Personally, I really don't care much for Armada Optimus Prime's design. It's really just kind of not Optimus Prime. And, like, even if this is the recolor and looks even less like Optimus Prime, I have to say, it's still just like even in his regular color scheme, just not Optimus Prime.
For me personally, I do not believe we can actually have one because, again, they're both designed to be two different robots. One is more designed to look like a fire truck, and the other is designed to look more like a semi-truck.
Although they're both Optimus Prime.
Although they are both Optimus Prime, they are different incarnations of them because, from what you've said, Cybertron is a remake of Armada instead of a sequel to Energon.
So this is going to basically be like the Nostalgia Critics, old and crappy. Actually,
make sure that it's not biased.
Okay,
old versus new.
Yes, and also in the words of Agent K. No, it was Agent J. In the words of Agent J, old and busted, new hotness.
Or old hotness, new and busted. But anyway, yeah. So
first we're gonna start with vehicle modes. Okay.
Actually, should we do the old first or the new first?
Okay, old. I'd say you give your points on old, and I'll give my points on new. And
now,
we do. Okay.
Now, as you could probably tell, this is not the version of Armada Optimus that a lot of people usually owned. This is a final battle version of him, and mainly his final battle version was only seen in, I think, about 3 episodes, starting with Origin, aka the episode where Sideways finally gets killed. And I use the word "killed" in quotation marks because, well, he never really dies. But anyway, this is more reminiscent.
Starscream.
Exactly. This is more reminiscent to a pickup truck, which you can tell by the large.
Said it again.
Semi-truck. This is more reminiscent.
Yeah, I'm the one who told him the difference.
This is more reminiscent to a semi-truck, as unlike the fire truck, which usually has its trailer always staying parallel, this one always moves side to side, so that it actually needs wider turns, kind of like real pickup trucks, semi-trucks. And there's my phone. Oh well. And also,
I want to point something out. One of the reasons I don't like this is because look at how wide he is. I mean, if this was a real truck, if you were to compare the cab to the rest of the trailer like that, this thing would take up 3 lanes.
Although that is true.
And it would not be a very good disguise.
Although that is true, you have to admit, there are a few scenes in Armada where you see the highways, and they're very wide. I think it's more of a futuristic type of present day. And
no, it's not. It's just lazy writing.
I think that's up for I guess that's up for debate. But anyway, as Amal himself, I think his design is pretty well done, except for the top of the trailer. He's got a kind of nice, kind of edgy and more futuristic semi-truck mode. He's got a nice grill at the front.
Let's do the
profile
too.
Some really good silver modes.
So we can
some really good silver modes, and some really good silver paint jobs. A nice contrast with black, gray, white, red, etc. And he has a really nice Autobot logo. And because of the fact that this is the final battle mode, Optimuses like this only come about once every generation. It's not like, I doubt that we're going to see another red and black Optimus for a while.
Unless, of course, you count Nemesis Prime, who is way cooler. About 20% cooler, if you ask me.
And as usual...
Nod to my fellow bronies.
And as usual, he comes with his typical minicon. This is Corona Sparkplug, which is a Corona Sparkplug, which is a nice extra. He's really shiny, very well done in gold, and he's kind of an improvement from the typical sports car Sparkplug because he's got two ridges on the side, and he even has sort of a turbo blaster here, which makes him more turbo booster. And he also has two little spikes or ridges at the front, which makes him more reminiscent of, say, a Batmobile.
I think he kind of looks like Sunstreaker.
And also, he can fit into many different versions.
Yeah, he does look like Sunstreaker.
He also can fit into these 2 panels where you attach his minicon ports.
Yeah, another reason why I don't care much for minicons.
So he can latch onto there very well, or you can actually open up 2 of these...
Does it matter?
Attachments. Let's see if I can open it up.
Yeah, this is...
And then afterwards, you can just put them in there, and then boom, you have Sparkplug on the go. And also, although I don't think it's really to be meant, he has a sort of laser here, which goes from some nice over the top.
Basically, I'm trying to say this again. Basically, you're not going to show him this trailer thing. I'm not going to show him the other vehicle mode this one has. That's going to be a surprise. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so...
So you want us to separate the pickup trucks. And also,
no. It's like,
one downside...
You said it again!
Semi-truck, okay. And also...
Baka.
I know, Baka Row. I'm going to be doing that for a while. But one downside is that, again, his gun does not really go anywhere. So you just kind of have to leave it to the side or just put it on top of here. Which is something I really do not enjoy. I think,
which is actually kind of funny when you think of what mine is.
Exactly. Which is
what
kind of disappointing.
mine does with its gun.
But I guess you could put it in the trailer, although it is kind of tricky.
Yes.
So anyway, do you want me to separate the trailer as of now, or do you want to introduce your
basically, okay, so
this also
next we have here Transformers Cybertron Optimus Prime
in his vehicle.
In his
semi-truck.
In his fire truck mode. Okay, this is a pretty decent figure. It's not like it tries to be more different than the other one. I mean, Armada Prime's just like, yeah, it's kind of like a half attempt at a disguise. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm a truck. Yeah, just a normal truck. Oh, nothing to see here. I'm just a truck. Yeah, this one is just like, you know what? Screw it. Balls to the walls. These things move upward, and there's really not much to say about it.
Which I think is kind of distracting, because no liars really act
Don't care.
That. And it's even, well, you should care since we're comparing them, and I think it contains even more kibble, especially when compared to the legs that fold down to the trailer.
Well,
so
at least mine has an efficient place to put its gun.
And that is true, but however, whereas Armada...
Yes, the head, I know. But
where Armada Optimus Prime's head is more in the center, his head is clearly visible from the top, the similar problem that Armada Starscream suffers from in his jet mode.
Okay. Alright, so next we're going to be doing what the alt mode, what the trailers do, and just a quick jump cut before that. Alright, after some minor arguments and, name calling, we essentially, after 3 takes, I figured out that, he explained to me that, yeah, you have to turn them into robot mode in order to activate the trailer's gimmick, so, yeah, so, whatever.
Now, when you separate them, the semi-truck connects to a slight peg, which is why this thing usually wobbles around a lot if you turn it, making it more realistic to real to semi-trucks nowadays. Now, the trailer itself can transform by itself because it has a signal located, which is picked up right about, let's see if I can find it. I can't find it as of now, but it's certainly in
Let's just get this done with.
Okay.
I don't want to be here all freaking night.
So, afterward, here it is. This is where the sensor is. It's picked up here when you transform into robot mode, and it sends a signal. This takes 3 A76 batteries, which go in here.
And it takes 3 hours to transform it into
not really. Mode. And this takes 4 AA batteries. And what you do here is that
I didn't even put the batteries in mine.
You aim it in here. You separate the grill, put down, and there's a nice little non-removable matrix of leadership, which a lot of people would probably lose.
Already a downside compared to mine.
But then again, you would lose it, and that would be a totally different downside by itself. Then you're going to want to... This is helpful.
Is it turned on at all?
It's turned on. You don't turn on Optimus here, but you do turn on the trailer. The trailer is turned on.
Switch is on?
Yep, there's a switch below there. Then afterwards, another thing is that you pull down the fists and the feet. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, and then of course you have to separate the thing. And let's see if it does it. Let's see if it happens on the first try. Let me see if I can.
And if it doesn't, I've got a pretty good idea.
If it doesn't, then we just try again. Actually.
Then I have a good idea on how to actually do it.
Let's see.
Here's an idea. How about you press that button that we couldn't figure out what it does?
The button, really, I do not think serves any purpose.
Maybe it does when it's in robot mode, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I gotta separate these. And there it is.
So he's got a base mode.
There is the base mode. Again, my mistake is that you have to separate this trailer. So anyway, here is the base mode, and after that's done, you just continue with Armada Optimus. You just have to, let me see if I can get him into a good angle. You flip down the shoulders. And there we have Armada, oh, and also you gotta bring up the arms to expose his fists. And here we have Armada Optimus.
More on him on the robot mode round.
Exactly. But so as for the base itself, really, I guess we could postpone. We either postpone this so you can transform your base mode, or I continue.
It's not a base mode, actually. What I have is.
Actually,
let's talk about this, and then I'll show you. Then I'll show what I got.
Okay, so
what I got's way cooler than this.
Okay, well that's opinion. So afterwards, we will be comparing bases.
What a cluster.
Now, this is all opinion. For me personally, the base mode is really interesting, and it even has a little panel here, which is reminiscent to the main computer the Autobots had in the show. Now, for these platforms, you usually need to hook them down. Hush, Wilku, this is my chance. And also, you can even flip down this panel if you think it gets in the way. Also, it has sound effects, including if you press on this addition sign, which has some laser sound effects. And now for gimmicks, aka Minicon ports, here we go. First, there is his gun. Actually, no. Already, this has. Okay, right over here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Is his gun, which is essentially located on his knee, which kind of reminds me a lot of Mechagodzilla from the Showa series. Oh, and another important thing: flip these down if you want them to be more balanced. So anyway, what happens is that it can shoot a projectile which looks a lot like Generation Lugnuts, except here it has a T, and it also springs in there well, which I like. It has a spring that works very well. And another thing is that, again, you can get any Minicon, but because I kind of want to save Corona Spark Plug for the end as a little bonus, here we have Kicker, who is operating this gun. Now, in the show, it could be sent from, I believe, stun to kill, but Wilku, what would Kicker do if he was using this gun? Stun or kill?
He'd probably let go of it, walk away, and say this is completely pointless.
So anyway, it's kind of it's an interesting little projectile, and I like it how it just goes in there firmly into his knee. Now for here, you have a separate laser. You have a separate laser that just kind of goes out, and again, you can insert another Minicon on there, and also it can be used to bring in smaller Minicons, almost as if it's going into repair mode. And also, you got this platform that serves no purpose.
I just saw something. Look right here.
Ah, hey, whoa.
Sorry.
Hey, son. Now, good thing Wilku pointed out, but he could have been a little bit more gentle with it.
What? I didn't know it was a Minicon thing. I didn't break it. It's just my fingernail clipped on it.
What happens here is, now in some versions it springs up, and some versions you just kind of have to pull it out, but let's see, whoa. Here is another miniature gun.
There.
Here is another miniature gun, which again, another Minicon can activate and go all around. Kind of looks like the turrets from, I believe, the Amazing Spider-Man video game, which is kind of neat.
You know what's really neat?
And also,
is that I had this toy when I was a kid, and I did not know that was there.
And also, if you insert a Minicon onto, yeah, let me see if I could get an even better shot. A little peg.
Right there.
Let's see.
Yeah, I hate Minicons. I really do.
I like some Minicons. Some are better than others. You put it on there. Let's see if I can attach it with its little port. And you pull it forward. And you actually have kind of a shotgun reminiscent laser blast.
Okay.
So this is essentially a great place for Minicons to just hang out if they, want to enjoy summer break. Also, I don't believe I accidentally zoomed in on the shot. Here's the laser again.
A great place to hang out. It's like, say a bunch of Minicons are talking to each other. It's like, hey, me and Bone Crusher are gonna meet up later on Optimus's crotch. You guys in?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And also,
you pointed that out earlier. He's got little things.
This one does nothing. However, the other one.
The other one can pop some.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, here we go. This one does nothing. However, the other one, if you turn it to the side.
So essentially, he's no better than Megatron.
That's a better thing, except Optimus treats Minicons with respect. Megatron/Galvatron does not.
Yeah. What Optimus does is he launches them out of his.
Except that's only when it's an emergency. And actually, let me see. You just put it back in there, and there's a little cage here. So you activate the
You say cage.
A little cage or thing or whatever. It's more used for really pushing them out rather than just keeping them locked up, because the cage is right behind the Minicons, not in front of them. So you just move them, and then they just come out of there. Which is kind of...
that little spin it did, like in an action
the spin can be kind of amusing, but then again, not the best part. Overall, this base doesn't exactly have the best design, because it's kind of like spread out and kind of thin among the legs and the other halves of the trailer and these platforms. but still has a lot of interesting stuff. And again, you can tell that they were being very show accurate with this one, and it's overall a nice place. If you want to take pictures of a lot of minicons, or even Transformers in general, like they're having a good time on this base, if you want kind of like a hangout spot for a lot of Transformers, then I'd say that this would be the place. And one last thing that's cool is that this is kind of where the gun really comes into effect.
Oh, I just figured out where it goes, and you didn't even figure it out. Okay.
No.
Like, right there. That's where it goes when you're storing it.
Ah, there we go.
Only on the other side.
I think I'll do a separate...
It's got an opening there.
There we go.
Do a separate review of this so you can actually...
I'll do a separate review. This is more comparison, but the gun can go here, and it can rotate... It can rotate, it can revolve around, which is kind of interesting to have yet another projectile laser. Basically,
and what we just figured, and as we just figured out, and he kept wondering, well, where does it go? That's where it goes in vehicle mode.
However, it's still, then again, this whole thing, really, can it bend?
Can it blend? Will it blend? That's the question.
Let's see.
Nope. Even then, this toy sucks. Wow.
It doesn't suck. It just has some problems. Wilku is kind of biased here with Cybertron. But overall, I think that this base mode is a overall good one. It definitely has... It's not the best one. It's not a perfect base mode, but it's still nice to check out. It makes for a really good hangout spot. And it's really good to just have a bunch of minicons coming here. It even seems to actually, if we could get a wild party on this thing, imagine Kicker doing Gundam style on Optimus's base. So
yes,
that has some pluses.
Let's not go too
So
far.
that is Armada Optimus's base mode. I still think it's good. It can be a little bit all over the place, but overall, I still think it's well done.
And mine is cooler.
That's debatable.
Okay. Unlike his, this one doesn't have a massive mechanical gimmick for its secondary alt mode. But what it does have is a lot cooler than just like, oh, it's a base. You know why?
Flying fire truck.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. It keeps getting loose. Optimus Prime. Flight mode. I believe I can fly.
Again, really well done.
I believe I can touch.
Really well designed. And it overall just shows that, again, this is one major thing that Cybertron Optimus Super Mode has that Armada Super Mode doesn't. But then again, it kind of shows how they were different. They were deliberately designed to be two different things. One's equipped for land, and the other one's equipped for the sky.
Yeah, one's equipped to just sit there and do nothing.
Or
this one is equipped to just, like, get up and fly in the air and just blow yours up.
Oh, trust me, man. There are.
And at least mine has a place for his gun.
True, that is one thing that Armada Optimus did not have. But the bases are two. Actually, is this base mode?
This is not a. There is no base mode for this one.
Ah.
This is flight mode. I was basically basing it off of what I was meaning for it to be is a. What I meant was when I was proposing this is that it's what the trailer can do other than super mode, and there it is. Flight mode.
Two different things in comparison with the Armada one. So which one do you think is better, flight mode or base? Is up to you.
Yeah, I still say it's flight mode because base mode just sits there. It's just
I can't really decide apples and oranges. Trust me, his base mode is more powerful than you think. With all that gun firepower, you do not want to go there. It's like, I'm gonna destroy your base. Blast.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it. Blast.
Okay. Destroys it. All right. Next, we're doing robot mode.
Oh, they're robot modes. Okay, yeah. So let's see if you can transform it. Okay, sorry guys, I did a little flub, but although it doesn't really look that different, but you're supposed to take his legs and... Let's see. There we go.
He has knees.
And now he actually has knees. Isn't knees a great thing?
Yes. So, here's Cybertron Optimus Prime in his basic robot mode. And, I still think it looks a whole lot better. Because, for one thing, it actually looks like Optimus Prime. It has the windows on the chest. It has the red paint scheme. It's got the red and white, the blue, the iconic heroic thing. I'm sure it's got a mouth here, but the fact is, it's still awesome. And also, yeah, he was talking about the Matrix earlier.
You got the touch.
At least mine And come out.
But then again, there's a likeliness kids will lose it, which is not a good thing.
And then collectors will actually get this thing, and they'll actually say, hey, there's the Matrix. Therefore, it's worth a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So then you go about yours.
So here is Armada Optimus, which is about as faithful to his cartoon mode as well any of the Unicron trilogy was. As usual, as you could tell, this is the final battle mode, which again is very iconic for a good ending to a good series. And as you can see here, he has not too many gimmicks, but nice. He has again a very faithful Matrix of Leadership, which is exactly, which is very much, as similar to the, which, kind of works the same. You really just pull something down, and it's attached to his grill, and it has a good explanation for why it's in there, but at the same time, people can get in, except this one does not remove, but then again, whether you want to say it's better for it not to remove because you'll lose it, or whether better it is to be removed and just to have it out there, is your choice. Another interesting thing is that I think many Optimuses should have it, or at the same time not, is that you push down on his head, and his mouth moves, but really this is more something.
Autobots transform and roll out.
But really this is more something for G1 Optimus because his mask actually moved when he talked. I believe Armada and Animated's Optimus's masks did not move when they talked. Does Cybertron and Energon's do their masks move when they talk?
No, because it's done with CGI and that's too expensive.
Too expensive, and also again now. Armada Optimus had a very cool move where he put his hands together and he activated a gun, which is basically miniature sonic rainbow blasts. However...
And then we have the...
However, because articulation is limited, you have a different result, but it's still kind of cool. You take the smokestacks...
I just realized it's clear because you put it in you can put it in Super Mode's Super Mode's hand and it'll
glow. It will light up, however, we'll get to that later. You put it in there, and they form a neat little pistol. Now, again, maybe it's not as cool to... hang on, let me make him the center a little bit. Maybe it's not as cool because, again, that move was pretty interesting, but the pistol itself is still pretty neat. And actually, I don't know why, it kind of reminds me in its design of a steampunk gun, which is another neat thing.
It is not the Alchemist gun.
And it's not the Alchemist gun, but it has some nice little steampunk-esque designs. But as usual, what really separates this Optimus from the others is the shoulders and the grill. I personally don't mind the grill because it gives a more thorough explanation of how the Matrix is in there. But his shoulders again are a little bit too wide. But then again, it does kind of make up for a cool truck mode, so I can kind of forgive it. And his legs sadly cannot be separated as much because, again, if you do this, the base may transform, but not really if you just turn it off. So you could separate them for more articulation, but he's not that bad. Actually, one cool pose is that if you get his gun, and if you put it in there, and if you go down like this, you could actually have a cool, you who are without mercy, now beg for it.
Now plead for it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
I thought you were made of sterner stuff, which is pretty interesting. But his legs sadly cannot go, they can go forward, I guess, and they can bend, so you can have, kind of a cool pose, when he's kind of, really, really damaged in the final battle.
Yeah, let's hope that kind of thing happens. Let's hope that,
Let's hope that kind of...
Let's wish I like to wish the same fate as G1 Optimus in Transformers the movie on this one.
Do not grieve, for soon I will be once with the Matrix.
He does die in the show, and as usual...
Yeah, and then they bring him back in 5 seconds.
They bring, about 2 episodes, but as usual when Optimus...
2 episodes, but yes. That's nothing compared to G1, but whatever, let's keep
anyways, this Optimus, I'd say, is still a good model. He's not the most articulate, but I don't think really he's supposed to be.
Articulated.
Or posable, but really, I don't think he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be more show accurate, and because of that, they really succeed in this one.
My only complaint were really lame back then.
It really took some time for Transformers to get more posable. It
took Marvel Legends for them to get more posable.
My only complaint, really, with the paint job is that this mask is red instead of silver, and even in the final battle when he went through his repaint, his mask was still silver.
And that's a nitpick. So
that is a nitpick, but it's not that big. So there is Armada Optimus. Definitely not the best Optimus. I do agree that the animated Optimuses are better, but he's still worth checking out. I still think he's overall well done and a good figure.
And this one, I love this. This is just like I love how even in standard robot mode, he manages to look awesome and imposing. I think, and his super mode is really way cooler than Armada's super mode anyway. But, yeah, this is, that's all I really need to say. It's nice blue, silver. I just like to let this figure speak for themselves on this sort of issue.
Is he more opposable than Armada? There we go.
Take that, bitches.
Okay, censorship palooza. So yeah, definitely more articulate, definitely more posable. The shoulders, I think, actually, I don't know.
And the hands can open and close, too, so I got that going for him.
Still, I don't know why, but there's something about the stomach, though, that just kind of... It's like he's... Even from this angle, it looks like he's really, really fat. Like, Armada,
It's not a stomach, it's his crotch.
Almost as... I guess so, but it's almost as if they traded the fat from our...
It's the chest jutting out.
I kind of get that.
The stomach's there.
But it still kind of looks...
this little ridge here.
Still kind of looks a little bit awkward. And it's like they transferred the fat in Armada Optimus's shoulders to his lower torso.
You'll see later on that it actually fits well with his
It actually fits well. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. They both... One thing that they both do is that they're very show accurate. They're very interesting. They both have matrices of leadership. Thank you. And overall, they're both essentially well done. Now to move on, which is basically what the Unicron trilogy hyped up to do with their Optimuses. Optimuses. Here is their super modes. I edit that out. But, you know, if you have some troubles with him, it's really not that bad, as usual.
Snap him into place so we can compare
just do it.
Modes already.
You can just do it, and also you can, is it off? Yeah, it's off. You can just turn it off, and then afterwards, all you really have to do is just snap these.
Take a cup of flour.
And then afterwards, you have the lower portion of his body, and then you just clip it into place.
I always thought this thing was pants, and now I know.
And then afterwards, whether you want to put this...
And all my British fans know what I mean by pants.
So there we go.
Whatever.
Make sure the hooks are in place. Now for the rest of him, you face him forward. Transform and combine. Transformers.
Another thing I don't like about the Unicron
More
trilogy,
than
the fact that they actually had to say transform and combine.
You said the same thing with Beast Wars.
Yeah,
and you take down the arms. Robots in the sky. Actually, Armada Optimus has his own... He had enough money, apparently, to buy his own rap.
Yeah, and you know what?
What?
The theme to Transformers Cybertron's way better.
The Japanese intro, however, is much better. And these arms admittedly can get confusing.
Make it quick, dude. I don't want to... You don't have to do the whole transformation. Because this is going to be one long-ass video if you do.
You stop cursing.
Ass is not a curse word.
Yes, it is.
They say it on the Cartoon Network.
Okay, there we go. There's arms, and then afterwards, all you really have to do...
Spring?
Yes, it has on a spring. It's supposed to activate through some kind of gimmick. Then you're supposed to clip these on, though. Again, it can get tricky in order to make sure it doesn't accidentally unfold.
Oh, wait, I just figured out what you did wrong. Fold that down.
Actually, no, you're not supposed to do that.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a button here that activates usually a cool little sound, but technically it's not activated.
How do you know that this...
Because I've tried it before.
Oh, good. That means we have less annoying noises. Anyway. With all the sound gimmicks that were in Transformers back then. Oh, well. Just lock the thing in there.
Let's see.
Oh, I see what you did wrong.
There we go.
Yeah, you have to actually have it in there. Flush.
See if I can make it even tighter. And there we go. Then you flip up the head, and here you have a pretty good-looking Optimus Prime in his super mode.
Yes.
And of course, as usual...
Sarcasm. Yes, it looks very good. Sarcasm, more sarcasm.
Okay, just ignore Will. He's really attached to the Cybertron Optimus. So overall...
I had this thing when I was a kid, and you know what? I always hated it.
Okay, so anyways, overall, it looks very good, and it's really tall. Another thing I also enjoy. Really show accurate. I'm surprised how actually show accurate they were able to get it, since like the original had a lot of stuff on it. And of course, the main thing is that you rotate the shoulders.
What's really funny is...
You rotate the elbows.
That's actually the exact reason why I don't like this version, because all it is like, if you were to just straight up to look at the toy, You just straight up look at the toy. No.
And then afterwards you press it. Hey! Get your hands off it! Ah!
It bends. It's an.
I know it bends, except in order to make it face forward. Sorry guys, Wilku's he doesn't really. Has no idea what he's doing. He's really trying to mess me up here.
No, I'm not.
You made him.
Okay, for the record, I would like to point out this guy knows next to nothing about Transformers. If you didn't already tell.
And this guy knows next to nothing about Armada.
I know almost everything there is to know about... Okay, fine. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know I do know how to transform them.
Okay, so
didn't even come with the instructions?
Yes, it did, except they're ripped.
Why did you fold the head?
Okay,
just look it up on the internet. Okay, fine.
And then hopefully this time he'll take his hands off. Won't take his hands off, and then afterwards you can bend the arms, and then afterwards you press this button, and you probably can't see it right now. I'm saving that for my review.
Same light gimmick
and you have a little light gimmick, and you have a little light gimmick where it actually shows it, and that's pretty cool. And actually, I think that's interesting. Again, you could take his smokestacks off, and then you can form them to make an akimbo. But then again,
we don't have a lot of time to do that.
To make them akimbo.
And he doesn't have much posability.
He doesn't have that much posability, but it's still an interesting piece. It reminds me a lot about Voltron. He's really more for show rather than he is about playing. He's kind of hollow in the back, but
yeah, more for show than he is about playing.
It's kind of hollow in the back, but if you show him in the front, he's really, really, really well done. He has a nice paint job. And also one thing that's interesting, for some reason, I don't know why they decide to make this little circle on his... below his waist.
His crotch.
Hit 3/4. I don't know why they decided to make it look like a 3/4 figure rather like a 3/4 circle rather than a full circle, which is pretty weird. I also really enjoy his face. He looks really ticked off. It's like, okay, listen, you want to mess with my friends? Well, now you mess with me. Here I come. And then he gets out his I am a man gum. Boom! Boom! It pretty much creates miniature nukes all over the town. So overall, I think this is, again, a pretty well done figure, and with the new, more red and black paint job, it makes him even look more dark. One of the best toys the Unicron trilogy has to offer, more for show really than playing. So overall, if you can find this guy for a reasonable price, which is not easy, then use him. Then get him. Now, for his Minicon Sparkplug, or Bumble, as it's called in Japan, I am not joking, you separate this.
And don't bleep this because it's actually 100% true. And cup is also known as piece. It's one word.
Okay, so afterwards you separate them.
It's a Minicon. You don't have to put into too much detail.
Okay, then afterwards you...
And now they're talking again.
Now they're talking again as usual.
Don't mind it as much.
Afterwards, you bend the head down.
Because you're taking for freaking ever to do this kind of stuff.
Hey, be quiet.
They're Minicons. They don't care.
They don't
care.
No
one cares about Minicons.
And it's not your opinion. You're not the transforming god.
Yes, I am.
And there is Sparkplug. He's a pretty cool, and also the gold really enhances to his awesomeness. I really think he's a well done Minicon, one of the better Minicons, definitely. And also, transforming him back is pretty simple. This is all you do.
I have two of that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they made like a Transformers Energon Costco exclusive box set with Overload and Optimus. And it was just basically, everything was painted yellow. Except for the Minicon, which was... just Corona Sparkplug again, gold.
Okay, there we go. Then you just insert on him, and you have a cool-looking sports car on his shoulder, which is pretty unique.
Yes.
Again, I think overall Armada Optimus is done very well. Oh, let me pop this back up. And I also think that he's definitely one of the better Armada figures. And yeah, there we go.
Okay, and now...
I am a man!
No, I'm basically giving him an entrance here.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Well, I guess it's your turn now.
Optimus Prime, flight mode. Yes, we have a super mode. Okay, one thing that always bugged me about the super modes of Transformers, the Unicron trilogy, is that usually they were just saying, like, I'm Voltron, and basically my joke about the Transformers Armada super mode is, I'm tall! But the fact is, this one's actually really bad. It genuinely looks like an amplified Optimus, like an upgrade. Something that would be like, okay, just got real, we're gonna go kick some The whole, like, because it is truly epic, this thing's design. I mean, it's got the chest plate that opens up like in regular robot mode. It's got his head in its more Optimus Prime look. It's got wings. It's got these guns and his gimmick, the Transformers Cybertron gimmick. Sorry to say, this guy came with two cyber keys. The gimmick of Transformers Cybertron. However, I've lost those since I first got this thing. So I decided to, reach into my great bag of many cyber keys, and I just pulled out these three. Yeah, so okay, yeah, one of them is a Decepticon symbol. Lol. Anyway, okay, this thing doesn't have any batteries in it, but what it was supposed to do is you stick the cyber key back here, and this would open up and make some sort of sound and light up as well. This one, two guns pop down when you pop in a cyber key over here. Piece of junk. What's really funny is that Optimus was the only one to come with two cyber keys. Yeah. There were several that had multiple points in which a cyber key activates something. Like a character with two guns, or a character with two sets of claws, and they never really did anything because, well, you only had one cyber key. But with Optimus here, it's like, screw it. Give me two. I'm the leader of the Autobots. Not even Megatron had two.
Overall, I will admit that he is overall done well. Great paint job as usual. Especially nice, good paint job and color scheme. But then again, his wings are not really all that sweet. I mean, like, they are technically sweet if you want to fly, but then again, how is this guy supposed to get through anything? Like, you've seen the comparison with other Transformers. Is he just supposed to turn sideways? Overall, for me, I just think he has too much stuff above his head.
Now, his head to go through a corridor, he wouldn't be in this mode.
And now, his head, I do enjoy. His head, but what if there's a dire situation, huh? Autobots always run into dire situations. Now, his head is interesting because it definitely not only invokes G1 Optimus, but also Armada Optimus by having the face mask. And his guns also are interesting, but overall, I kind of like him when there was one big gun, as if to focus, like saying, yeah, I only need one gun because this is extremely powerful. And then again, when comparing the two,
well, in the words of 90s Kid,
I just think overall that while they're both good in their own ways, and I can't really compare them because it's like apples and oranges overall. Again, this one had its high points.
Apples and oranges. It's like apples and pears.
Apples and oranges. This one had the red, but also had this really nice blue, this really nice comparison of black. And while this one kind of goes for a more reminiscent and a more reminiscent and traditional Optimus Prime with the red and the blue, I overall think that this dark blue, this gray, and this black is a type of Optimus Prime.
What's actually really interesting is before we did this, I actually looked it up, and there is another version of this, a repaint of sorts. I guess it was more obscure. Or maybe it was a custom job, or maybe it was a
maybe
knockoff.
It was just some one
or maybe it was a knockoff. But either way, what I saw was that this was like now gold. There were parts of him that were black, and it was a darker shade of red. So I thought that was kind of neat looking. But this is still better. And so the question is,
I think it's debatable. I think that mine is better, but that's opinion.
But the question is, okay, so now the question is, who is, as if I may quote Sentinel Prime, the Primer Prime?
So what contest would this be focusing on?
Essentially, just like which one's better. I still say it's Transformers Cybertron Optimus because
I still think it's Armada Optimus.
Armada Optimus is lame. Okay.
Cybertron Optimus is lame. Hey.
Okay, let's put our points out there. Okay, Armada Optimus. If you were to just look at the toy and not like know who it was, and you just had like, okay, so the little guy docks with his trailer and now he's suddenly tall. Is that it? Okay, so he can play basketball. That's something. Yeah, he's a lot taller. That's a growth spurt or something like that. Another problem I have is with Armada Optimus, he couldn't, in order to fly well, he had to actually go into... Don't do that.
Oops, sorry.
Supposed to be in a pose like that. Okay, so, like, in order for him to be posed to fly well, he had to be docked with another bot.
Jetfire.
He had to be combined with another bot. It's just straight up...
I could say the same thing about this guy because... Oh, you've got a whole bunch of guns and you have your face mask on? Yeah, that's good. That's real improvement. Oh, you got wings that you can't even get through any doors. Oh yeah, you're real improvement. So I can say the same thing.
Yeah, well, you know what?
So I can say the same
thing. Since when did that one ever go through any tight corridors? Huh? It's usually in a big room when he activates that.
But the point is that...
In this one, it's usually flying through space.
If you ever got to situations, this one probably could. This one, not so lucky.
Oh yeah?
Could fold them, but then again, that brings everything so much together, and it sacrifices articulation overall. And even then, this one is still hard to transform. This one is still hard to do.
Yeah, well, he's got more guns.
This one has an I am a man gun. This one has the traditional I am a man gun.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This one, let's just say, okay, he's got one gun that shoots a bunch of
that shoots miniature nukes.
That basically fires off a Jericho missile from Iron Man 1.
Tank missile.
But then again, mine can basically just say, die, and then fires everything at you at once.
However, I do think that with this one, the powers of this gun is evenly distributed throughout these guns. This one has all of his power concentrated into this one gun. This one has power evenly distributed.
Yeah, but what if he drops his gun?
What
if he gets knocked over and knocked to the ground? This falls out and Megatron crushes it, huh?
This gun, never.
I know, but think of it in actual terms.
It cannot possible. It is not possible. I'm telling you, it is just not possible.
I'm dealing with a child. Anyway, the fact is, yeah, mine has more guns all over him.
Mine has the I am a man gun. Mine has the I am a man gun.
Okay, let's ask an expert on this. Kicker. What's up, Optimus? Who the hell is that?
Okay, let's ask the other one. Kicker. Hey, my twin brother was just here. Oh, hey, Optimus. You're a man, huh? Yes, indeed, Kicker. I am a man. Bro hoof.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Hey, you! Clip your shoulders! Clip your shoulders!
Why is he making me talk? It's really irritating. Put me down, you idiot.
Hey, are we possessing Kicker in order to win an argument? No.
No, it's just that I'm possessing Will so he can actually talk for me.
I'm possessing Robert so that he can talk for me. Hey, Kicker, what is the worst movie? Let's Acubalion the movie.
Yeah, there's no movie to Acubalion.
Ah, okay.
Thank fucking God. But anyway, also as a quick bonus, even though I didn't bring Lyle Convoy with me, he can actually combine with Leo Breaker to form Savage Claw mode. So in other words, he's Wolverine. If everyone in the comments is going to say that this one's better. Okay, so let's just say in the comments, who is the better Prime? Who is the Primer Prime?
Armada or Cybertron?
Transformers Armada or Transformers Cybertron? Also, who has the better theme song? Anyway.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. This is Will Q9000
and Pac-Man 5698.
And Transformers Cybertron Optimus is better.
And Transformers Armada Optimus is much better. I am a man gun! Your argument is invalid.
Support Cybertron. Subscribe.